Okay, so this is my second attempt today to make a live Q&A video, more specifically for the superhero bodyweight workout plan, which I'll be launching within a few days. But you can also ask me anything basically regarding bodyweight muscle or whatever. I have a new setup here. I'm using my DSLR to shoot this live because every time I've used my phone or other cameras, it looks pretty bad. So this one goes well. We had some technical issues previously, but I think we'll be just fine now. Okay, so shoot away if you have any questions. I see we already have 6 people that are live with me. So I'm gonna start with a question I got recently through email. So somebody asked me what are the main differences between the superhero bodyweight workout 4.0 and the 3.0, last year's version. I would say there are 2 or 3 big differences. Number one is that we won't be using circuit training anymore, but we'll be using a more hybrid training approach that basically has the best out of both worlds, out of more strength-oriented training, such as traditional linear training when you do one set after another, going through each exercise separately. So it's basically a hybrid approach between that linear training and between circuit training, because circuits also have some really great benefits. They're quick. You can finish really fast your workouts. You have that metabolic stress. You have that effect on your cardiovascular system. So you're training your heart as well. So I've basically created a new system that is quite hybrid and gets the best out of both worlds, in my opinion. I call it cardiosthenic circuit training. So as you already know, I do have a plan that's called cardiothenics, which is a mix of traditional cardio and strength training. And this is now a new version, cardiothenics circuit training, which combines, again, the best out of 2 worlds, strength training and circuit training. I have some really great results from this way of structuring my workouts. So you can finish at the same time quite fast, but you can also get your best reps in. So, with circuit training, it's really difficult to get a lot of reps because you're gasping for air, your heart rate is through the roof. Some people get nauseated, dizzy, but you don't have that when you're doing calisthenics circuit training. It's a more you're working between zone 2 and zone 3. So your heart is working, but you're also, at that sweet spot where you can also perform pretty good strength-wise. So I would say that's one of the biggest changes. The other change is duration. So the 3.0 version was 8 weeks. This one is 9 weeks. And there's a little bit of a switch at the end of the program. So the peak in terms of training volume is on the 8th week. In this plan, and during the last week, the 9th week, you're aiming more at performance in terms of getting high reps. So you have a little bit less volume, but your goal is to break your training plateaus, your records, and getting your best reps in out of the whole plan, which leaves you with a really nice feeling of satisfaction, because you'll be breaking plateaus and you'll be seeing an improvement in performance besides your body and your mental state. So I would say these are the main differences. There's still other stuff, but if you want some more clarification on that, let me know. Let me see if we have other questions here. So I don't see anyone asking anything yet on the live chat. We had some questions previously, but I got a little bit nervous with the whole setup, which wasn't working that well, and I didn't pay attention. So if nobody asks other questions, I'll try to remember some of the. Don't be afraid to ask anything. I'll answer anything you want. So just shoot away. There are no stupid questions. The only thing that is stupid is leaving unanswered questions you might have. So another question I got is, will I be replacing sprints in this plan? Because somebody told me he had a hamstring pull last year from the sprints And my answer to that is no. I'm not changing sprints. I'm a huge fan of sprints. Huge benefits in terms of hormones, in terms of lower body strength, in terms of overall health, in terms of that post-workout feeling of euphoria. I would say sprints are one of the best ways to train your body efficiently in a small amount of time. And especially if you're doing bodyweight training calisthenics, it's one of the best ways to train your legs without using any equipment. We have all kinds of different types of sprint training in this program. So we have a combination of plyometrics followed by isometrics followed by a hill sprint. Of course, if you can't do hill sprints, there are alternatives. You can do flat ground sprints. You can also do your sprints on a static bike, so on a stationary bike. You can do your sprints on a rowing machine, basically any form of cardiovascular oriented machine that you can use or form of exercise that is though targeted at the lower body, because during your sprint days we want to focus more on the lower body because the rest of the days will be focused on the upper body. So yeah, sprints are not going anywhere, but I do have some really more detailed warm-ups, for those who feel that they're prone to injury and they're afraid of pulling a hamstring. I will have more detailed warm-ups. So I have also adaptations. I have different warm-ups for people who train early in the morning, for people who are older. I have all kinds of adaptations like that, adjustments. So, a person who's 20 and trains in a really warm environment, for example, in the afternoon, needs a lot less warming up than someone who trains in a cold environment, who is older, is closer to his 40s or 50s than his 20s. And, especially also if that person trains early in the morning. So I have different types of warming up for different categories of people. That was another common question I got. What else? So I see we have 16 people here in the live stream. Let me know if you have other questions. I'll answer everything. Another thing that somebody asked me about the superhero plan was in terms of equipment, what do you need? So, I always recommend that you do have something to do your pull-ups, something to hang from. Either that's gymnastic rings, which is my favorite tool. You can just buy a set of gymnastic rings and you can throw those over a basketball hoop. You can throw those over a tree. You can, you can find places to just hook those up and get your pull-ups in. You can do your dips on gymnastic rings, which are more challenging but even more effective. So number one, I would say in terms of equipment, you do need something to hang from. So either that's, again, a pull-up bar or, a set of gymnastic rings. I would also recommend something that you can do dips on. So again, if you have gymnastic rings, you can do your pull-ups there and your dips there. And you can also do your inverted rows there. So again, something in terms, a combination of a dip station and a pull-up bar, or gymnastic rings that are, serve both exercises would be a good idea. If not, if you don't have, if it's not possible for you to get a pull-up bar and a dip station or a set of gymnastic rings, I will have alternatives. But if you want to get the best value out of this plan, make sure that you do have some kind of piece of equipment that you can do pull-ups and dips with. So that would be the most important tool. Other than that, we do have prone angels, which you don't need any special equipment for that. You could use, of course, dumbbells, but I use water bottles. I just fill up water bottles and I use those. I do offer DIY alternatives as well for most pieces of equipment that you might need. But I would say if you do have something you can do dips on and pull-ups. You don't need anything else. The plan is bodyweight based, as most of my plans. I will have also alternatives for people that are a little bit more into weight training. So if you like really want to incorporate weight training to this plan, for example, instead of doing dips, you could do decline bench pressing, which is pretty much the same thing, in terms of the angle you're working and the muscles you're working. You could use like a lat pull down machine instead of pull-ups, which is not the same thing. I would say that pull-ups are superior, are the king of bodyweight exercises, as I like to say. But I do have all kinds of alternatives and adjustments you can make. So, no matter what your case is, if you really want to go through this plan, I would say there's nothing to be worried about. I'm not sure if I'm not seeing my questions here, or if nobody's asking any, but we got some questions in the previous video, but not in this one. Okay, so I'll just keep on answering questions that I've gotten over the last 2 weeks, ever since I started talking more about the superhero plan. Another question that I do got was regarding age. So some people told me that they're 50 and above 50, and will I have adjustments for those people in the plan? And as I said, I do have adjustments for other than people that train early in the day and people who need more warming up. I also have adjustments for people that are also quite above age of 50. So people that are bigger than 50, older than 50, older than 60 will need a little bit less volume than the plan recommends. So I will have adjustments there as well. So even if you're above 50 years old, above 60 years old, I will have practical guidelines for you to get the most out of this plan as well. So let's see. Is it possible that I have the chat off and maybe that's why I'm not getting any questions? Or let's see. Chat, where's the chat? Live chat, enable live chat. It seems to be working, but I don't see anything on my screen. Allow live chat display. Okay. So can anybody type something in the comment section, so I'm sure that my chat is working? Because I'm thinking that my screen might have an issue. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to my channel. Okay, your channel. I'm live. Okay, so I do have questions, but for some reason they're not appearing on on my screen. So I'll just open these up on my phone and I'll answer them from there. It's weird. Okay, so we'll do a part 2. I'll open up the video cam again and I'll just answer all the questions that I've gotten so far, which for some reason are not appearing on my screen. Let's see. Okay, so this is my first Q&A with this new setup. I hope you're not that strict with me. No, for some reason I don't see any questions, but I think I did see questions here on my phone, which are again gone. Okay, let's do a part 2 and I'll answer all the questions I got so far.